Good evening. Today, I want to challenge every single person in this room to stop playing small, to stop waiting for life to give them permission, and to step into the undeniable truth. You are in control. Right here, right now, in this very moment, the power to steer your life, to shape your destiny, and to create the reality you've been dreaming of has always been in your hands. Too often, we hand over our power and circumstances to other people, to fear, or to the past, and we wonder why life feels stuck. But what if I told you that every limitation you've ever faced, every setback, every doubt is just a signal, a challenge for you to rise, to break free, to reclaim what is rightfully yours? You see, taking back control isn't about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about learning to dance in the rain, about choosing to act even when everything seems uncertain. Today, I want you to feel the electricity of possibility coursing through your veins, to ignite a fire so powerful that nothing, not fear, not hesitation, not self-doubt, can keep you from stepping fully into your life. The question isn't whether you can do it. The question is, will you take it? Will you stand up, grab the reins, and demand the life you deserve? True empowerment begins with the realization that every single moment offers a choice, and within that choice lies the ultimate power to shape your life. Most people live as if life happens to them, reacting to circumstances, waiting for permission, or blaming outside forces for their situation. But the truth is that the ability to take control has always been within you. When you understand that each thought you think, each decision you make, and each action you take either moves you toward or away from the life you desire, you begin to see that choice is not a trivial concept. It is the cornerstone of personal power. Every day, from the moment you wake, you are presented with countless opportunities to exercise that power, from how you respond to challenges, to the way you treat others, to the commitments you honor or break. Choosing to take responsibility for those decisions is the first step toward reclaiming control, because it shifts you from a place of victimhood to a place of authority. When you stop waiting for external validation or for the perfect circumstances, you begin to create momentum in your life. Momentum that comes from the awareness that no matter how chaotic or difficult things may seem, there's always something you can do, always a step you can take, always a choice you can make that propels you forward. Empowerment through choice also means recognizing that control is not about perfection or eliminating uncertainty. It's about acting deliberately, consciously, and with intention, even when fear or doubt is present. Each choice, no matter how small, sends ripples through your life, shaping outcomes and creating the framework for the future you desire. People who feel powerless often overlook this simple truth. Their lack of control is not the result of life's circumstances, but of their refusal to consciously choose their responses. Learning to pause, to reflect, and to choose with awareness transforms ordinary decisions into acts of power. It allows you to break free from automatic patterns, to interrupt cycles of self-sabotage, and to align your actions with your deepest values and highest vision. It's a shift from being acted upon to being the actor, from drifting with the tide to directing your own course. And this awareness creates confidence, because when you know that the ability to change your life rests in your own hands, fear loses its grip, uncertainty becomes navigable, and challenges transform into opportunities for growth and mastery. Every choice reinforces a sense of agency, a sense that you are not at the mercy of chance, but are actively crafting your reality. And the more consistently you exercise that choice, the stronger your sense of empowerment becomes, until eventually it becomes second nature to see life not as something that happens to you, but as something you actively create. Breaking limiting beliefs is one of the most critical steps in taking back control of your life, because the mind shapes everything we experience, and the stories we tell ourselves often define what we think is possible. From the moment we are born, we absorb messages from our environment, family, school, society, and culture about who we are, what we deserve, and what is achievable. Over time, these messages can harden into beliefs, many of which are deeply limiting. They may tell us that we're not smart enough, not talented enough, not worthy of success, or that failure is inevitable. The problem is that these beliefs operate largely unconsciously. They shape our actions, decisions, and behaviors without us even realizing it. We often act as if the world is against us, when in reality, we are constrained more by the narratives in our minds than by external reality. The first step in breaking these limitations is awareness, noticing the beliefs that are holding you back and questioning their validity. Ask yourself, is this really true, or is it just a story I've been telling myself for years? When you challenge these assumptions, you create cracks in the mental barriers that have been keeping you small. But awareness alone is not enough. It requires deliberate action to replace those beliefs with empowering alternatives. This often means reframing experiences, creating new habits, and exposing yourself to examples of possibility that contradict old assumptions. For instance, if you believe that success is reserved for a select few, surrounding yourself with stories and mentors of people who achieve greatness against all odds can rewire your mind and expand your sense of possibility. Breaking limiting beliefs also requires courage because it often involves confronting fear, discomfort, and uncertainty. Our brains naturally resist change and cling to familiar patterns, even if those patterns are harmful or restrictive. But each time you challenge a limiting belief, you grow stronger and more resilient, proving to yourself that your past assumptions do not dictate your future potential. It's a process of reconditioning the mind to recognize that your capabilities are far greater than your doubts suggest. When you commit to this process, you start to see opportunities where before you saw obstacles, solutions where before you saw problems, and strength where before you felt weakness. The moment you dismantle a deeply ingrained belief that has been holding you back, you reclaim a portion of your personal power and expand the range of choices available to you. Over time, this creates a profound shift in how you perceive the world and yourself, transforming fear into motivation, hesitation into action, and limitation into possibility, until finally the only boundaries that remain are those you choose to acknowledge. Harnessing inner strength is about recognizing that the power to overcome challenges, achieve goals, and take control of your life has always existed within you, even if it has been buried beneath fear, doubt, or external pressures. Most people look outward for strength, seeking validation, support, or approval from others, believing that circumstances must align perfectly before they can act. But true strength is not found outside, it is forged inside, in the moments when you choose to stand up despite uncertainty, to keep moving forward despite setbacks, and to take responsibility for your own growth. Inner strength begins with self-awareness, understanding your values, your passions, your fears, and the patterns that have limited you. When you confront these truths honestly, you create a foundation upon which you can build resilience and determination. It is cultivated through persistence and consistent action. Every challenge you face, every difficulty you navigate, and every decision you make in alignment with your purpose strengthens the mental and emotional muscles that allow you to thrive under pressure. People who harness their inner strength do not wait for life to be easy. They embrace the discomfort, knowing that growth often emerges from struggle. This strength is not simply about enduring pain or resisting hardship. It is about channeling your energy, focus, and courage toward meaningful action, transforming obstacles into opportunities. Another critical aspect of inner strength is self-belief, the unwavering conviction that you are capable of handling whatever comes your way. This belief does not mean ignoring reality or pretending that challenges do not exist. Rather, it is the knowledge that, regardless of circumstances, you have the capacity to adapt, respond, and rise above. When you trust your inner power, fear loses its grip, indecision fades, and hesitation is replaced with purposeful momentum. Harnessing inner strength also requires cultivating emotional intelligence, the ability to understand and manage your emotions, maintain composure under stress, and respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. It is the alignment of mind and heart, thought and action that creates a profound sense of control and mastery over your own life. As you tap into this well of power within you, you begin to realize that setbacks are temporary, the challenges are surmountable, and that the only limits that truly exist are those you accept. Strength becomes habitual. It is reinforced each time you face difficulty with courage, each time you choose action over inaction, and each time you refuse to let fear dictate your decisions. This inner fortitude is contagious. It shapes the way you interact with the world, influences those around you, and amplifies your ability to create the life you envision. The deeper you go into your own reserves of strength, the more capable you become of navigating uncertainty, taking decisive action, and stepping fully into the life you're meant to live. Action over excuses is the principle that separates those who live empowered lives from those who remain trapped in frustration and stagnation. Too often, people spend more time explaining why they cannot achieve something than actually pursuing it. They rationalize inaction with external circumstances, blaming the economy, timing, other people, or lack of resources, when in reality, the only barrier to progress is the refusal to act. Every excuse is a choice to remain in the comfort of inertia rather than stepping into the discomfort of growth. Action over excuses requires a mindset shift, one that values momentum, commitment, and accountability over justification. It is the understanding that progress is made not by waiting for the perfect moment, but by starting where you are with what you have. When you prioritize action, even small steps compound over time, creating results that excuses never can. The process begins with decision, deciding that you will no longer allow fear, doubt, or procrastination to control your behavior. It is about taking ownership of your life and holding yourself responsible for the outcomes you produce. Excuses are the easy path. They require no courage, no risk, and no vulnerability. Action, on the other hand, demands energy, focus, and the willingness to face discomfort head on. Those who embrace action understand that mistakes are not failures but lessons, and each attempt builds resilience, clarity, and skill. Excuses, by contrast, cultivate stagnation, frustration, and a growing sense of helplessness. To consistently choose action over excuses, it is essential to break tasks into tangible, achievable steps. Large goals can feel overwhelming, and in that overwhelm, excuses flourish. But by focusing on what can be done immediately, you build a pattern of consistent forward movement. This pattern reinforces confidence, discipline, and self-trust, and it gradually erodes the habit of excuse-making. Action also requires courage, the courage to step into uncertainty, to risk criticism, to face potential failure, and to persevere when results are not immediate. It is not about reckless impulsivity, but deliberate, committed, and focused effort that aligns with your goals and values. When you make action your default response to obstacles, your life begins to change in ways that excuses never could. Opportunities start to appear because you are actively engaging with the world, learning, experimenting, and adapting. Each success, no matter how small, builds momentum, reinforces belief in your capability, and empowers you to tackle bigger challenges. By embracing action over excuses, you reclaim the agency that is rightfully yours, proving to yourself that you are not a passive observer of life, but an active creator of your destiny. And this choice to act consistently reshapes your habits, your mindset, and ultimately the trajectory of your life. Living a vision and purpose-driven life is about aligning every action, decision, and intention with the deepest values and aspirations that define who you are and what you want to create in the world. Too often, people drift through life reacting to external pressures, social expectations, or short-term rewards, unaware that their true fulfillment comes from living in alignment with their purpose. When you cultivate a clear vision, you create a compass that guides every choice, providing clarity in moments of uncertainty and motivation in times of struggle. Vision gives your life direction. Purpose gives it meaning. Without them, even success can feel hollow because achievements unconnected to your values fail to ignite passion or satisfaction. Crafting a compelling vision requires introspection and honesty, asking yourself what matters most, what impact you wish to leave behind, and what legacy you desire to create. Purpose is not something abstract. It is the fuel that drives consistent action, the reason you persevere when challenges arise, and the lens through which you measure progress. When your daily actions are connected to a higher purpose, obstacles no longer feel insurmountable. They become opportunities to test your resolve, refine your skills, and demonstrate commitment to what truly matters. A vision-driven life also enhances focus, helping you prioritize what deserves attention and letting go of distractions that do not serve your goals. It allows you to make choices with confidence because each decision is filtered through the understanding of your ultimate direction. Moreover, living with purpose fosters resilience because when life inevitably brings setbacks, a clear vision reminds you of the bigger picture, motivating you to rise, adapt, and keep moving forward. Purpose and vision are not static. They evolve as you grow, and cultivating them requires reflection, feedback, and the willingness to adjust your course while remaining anchored to your core values. Individuals who live purposefully inspire others, not just because of what they achieve, but because of the clarity, integrity, and passion they bring to every interaction. This alignment creates energy, enthusiasm, and commitment that ripple outward, influencing both personal and professional spheres. When purpose guides action, every effort, no matter how small, contributes to a larger narrative, transforming routine tasks into meaningful steps toward a life of significance. Vision and purpose also cultivate a sense of control because they anchor you internally rather than leaving your direction dependent on external circumstances. By defining your why, you reclaim agency over your life, determining not only what you do, but why you do it and how you respond when challenges arise. Living this way generates confidence, satisfaction, and momentum, creating a life that is not dictated by others or by circumstance, but by deliberate choice and intentional pursuit of what truly matters, until each decision, each action, and each moment becomes an expression of the life you were meant to lead.